Well, hello guys, this is Jay Tyson again with Doctor Who Puppets. We've got a shot here that I wanted to show you that I'm working on. This is in 3D Studio Max. And we've got the water is coming down the corridor of the TARDIS, and it's filling up the corridor section. And the Doctor and Betsy are trapped on the other side of the door watching the corridor fill, and they just barely make it. And this is just an effect shot that we're working on. And it actually renders out pretty good. It's something that anytime we do the water shots, it takes quite a long time to do some of those scenes, and it's a lot of fun to kind of show you guys sort of the build process on how we start doing these things. So we've got essentially a doorway that's similar to the doorway to the control room that we have built, and what we've done is we've redesigned it so that it looks more like a doorway in another part of the TARDIS with still a roundel for the window, but this one's got glass in it so that you can see what's going on. And we're using the same style water that we were using in the control room itself, so we've made it a little slightly transparent this time, just to kind of help with the lighting effect, because as the water comes down the hallway this way, it actually darkens the hallway. You would think it would brighten it, but it actually darkens it. It's kind of absorbed some of the light. Which is kind of creepy, and I like the effect, so I kept it in. So as we're rendering here, you can see the buckets start to clean everything up and reveal it, and it'll take just a few moments to render it out. And I won't render the whole thing, I'll just show you a little piece of it. But the really cool thing is that so you can see both the Doctor, and Betsy sort of standing here looking, and as the water fills up through the window, they're going to see these strange looking fish going by. And the Doctor is commenting on how those shouldn't be there, and Betsy's like, exactly, that's what we've been looking at. And that's when she sort of tells him what's been going on in 1955 for her. So in the first episode, we had a lot of gags for time travel. I don't know how many of you caught the Back to the Future references, or the references to Bugs Bunny and taking left at Albuquerque and those kind of things. But we had a lot of fun doing those, and we just wanted to kind of carry on the fun of the episode, but at the same time being able to kind of up the scale as far as the visuals. The first episode sets everything up, so there's a little bit of, there's a lot of conversational dialogue to set everything up. And as you can see in this one, when you start to get it finished, the water starts to look quite nice, and we see we've got the bluer roundels, the larger roundels, like that are in the Fourth Doctor's era at this time. And there's a lot of different roundels in this particular story, because as you travel through the TARDIS, you're traveling through different sections of the TARDIS, so you're going to get to see different things. So I'm really happy with the way this particular shot has come out, and the shot leading just up to it, I'm going to go ahead and stop the render because I don't want to give too much away, but that you can kind of see how the water is starting to, you've got all these wonderful reflections in here, and then of course up here is where it's still got to finish processing. But the shot leading up to this, so if I hide the water, there we go. We'll go to, let's see, rundown. Okay, so the shot that kind of leads up to this is this one, where they're in a corridor setting, and got kind of an odd thing here I need to fix. But they're in the corridor. They've stopped and they've had a conversation. Then they hear the water rushing, and then they run. And then the door. I have to click on the door and move it back into place. It was actually at frame 200. Sometimes you have to move keyframes out of the way to do other things, but they have to run and they hear this shot. So the door opens. They run down the door and slam the door shut. And then they're hiding inside there, and that cuts to the looking through the window corridor shot. And just prior to this is, let's see, is this shot. And usually this isn't here during that shot, or these guys. Wonderful thing about CG is you can kind of remove the things you don't need and kind of cheat the camera a little bit. Not unlike building the set. Oh, I know, I see what we're missing. We're missing the floor. I must have hidden it by mistake when I was trying to grab the water. Anyway, So they start walking around this corridor and they're having a conversation. And of course, Betsy's talking about the TARDIS, and they're talking about what's happening. And they're panning down this corridor as they're walking and having this conversation. And it's a different shot than one we've had before. And we try to make each one a little bit different, a little more dynamic. And then when this one ends, and if you let it play, it kind of comes to a slow ending. And that's when they start to hear the sound of the water rushing. Oh, which you can see I still got a little bit of a column right there in the beginning that actually shouldn't be there. That's this guy right here. That's better. So they come around the corridor, and then towards the end, they come here. They hear the water rushing, and then they will do a cut, like a camera cut to a closer shot, which would be this shot here, which is the same area that they were just in. It's just now we're in a close-up with the two characters being much closer into frame, and then they're going to run to the door, which will bring them further out of frame. The door is going to open up, and they're going to run in. So it's a much more complicated shot, but it should be quite cool. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a preview of what we've been working on. As you can see, we've got some of the roundels that aren't lit as well. But this is what we've got going, and I hope you guys are looking forward to episode 2 as much as we are. So keep watching, stay tuned, because we'll have more to come.